Thank you for taking your time out of your day to join us. Please be seated so that we can start the program. Good evening. My name is Sandra Chapman. I'm the Chief Program Officer for Borough President Eric L. Adams. Welcome to Brooklyn Borough Hall's 6th Annual Women's History Month celebration, where Borough President Adams will honor the borough's first diverse women who are breaking barriers and blazing trails. Tonight's festivities will feature reciting of the Phenomenal Woman poem written by Maya Angelou. And we will have guest speaker Collette V. Smith. Whoa. She rocked with her fan club. Collette Smith, who is the founder and president of Believe in You and the National Football League's first African-American female coach. I would now ask that we all stand for the national anthem. Ms. Nadine Simmons will be singing the Star-Spangled Banner. She's a dynamic and inspirational singer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Nadine Simmons. Didn't I say that she was a dynamic singer? Nadine has released 2 gospel singles that are available, so please network with her later. On with our program. I now have the pleasure of introducing Miss Collette V. Smith. That fan club. Who was herself a former women's professional football player, coach and director of marketing, PR, promotions, and events for the New York Sharks, the longest operating women's tackle football team. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together and welcome tonight's guest speaker, Collette Smith.
Good evening. How's everybody doing today? So first of all, I have to start by saying that Star-Spangled Banner brought tears to my eyes. Thank you so much. I remember when I was a women's pro football player from my team, the New York Sharks, who, by the way, we just won the world championship. my very first game, and I got to suit up and have my football helmet and walk through that tunnel as a woman that plays football, and I stood there on that football field, and when the Star Spangled Banner played, it brought back so many emotions to hear you right now. So thank you so much. That was absolutely stunning. I was gonna go play football again. I was like, okay, game's on. But so to the Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, thank you so much for having today's celebration. This means a lot to me as a woman and all of us women, I'm sure. So I appreciate you doing this for us. Thank you. Women should be celebrated, and women should fight too. So we do that. But for me to keep with time, I wrote a couple things down that I'm going to speak about because I could be up here for hours, and that's not the game plan for tonight's scheme. So I'm proud to stand here as the first woman to have ever coached in New York Jets franchise history. And the first African-American female football coach in the history of the National Football League. I achieved this platform in which most of the world said I couldn't. Hell, I wasn't allowed to play this very sport that I love because I was a girl. So I stand here as a proud black woman that tackled these naysayers in a full onset blitz with deep field man coverage. Isaiah 54:17, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I live by that. It is God driving me in the direction in which He wants me to go. He is my roadmap. He is my navigation system, and I'm on autopilot. I don't walk alone, I have God. So today I use my platforms as a living example as what it looks like when you believe in yourself. Because quite frankly, a lot of times, little girls, are told to sit back, let the boys do that, or girls don't do that. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So moving forward through my days brings me hope because it's amazing how God gave me football, and I know that God gave it to me. I'm going to be very open and honest with you all right now because we're women, we're strong, and we're adults. I was sitting on my couch 2011, I was smoking a cigarette. I was drinking a 40-ounce. It was a Colt 45, and it was really cold, and I was enjoying it. I worked the New York City real estate market, and I was a top broker for a top firm in Manhattan, and I used to make a lot of money. And the market had crashed, and I was struggling with making bills meet, and I was working triply harder than I normally do, bringing less money in. And so I was smoking that cigarette and drinking that beer on the couch, and I came across something that said Women's Pro Football Team Tryouts. And I thought I drank too much of that beer. Because surely women can't play football because I was told I wasn't allowed to, and that even if I did, I wasn't capable of doing it because of my gender. So I looked at it again, just to make sure, and it was true. And tryouts were that Saturday, and this was a Tuesday. And I finished my cigarette, and I finished that beer, and then I started working out, because my game plan was to go there. Now, I was 42 years old at that time. Men in the NFL are retiring, younger than that, actually. But I was hell-bent on going there because this was a miracle to me because I love this sport so much. So I said, Collette, you're probably not going to make the team, but you're going to go and experience powerful women playing in this amazing sport. So I get there, I was angry too when the alarm clock went off at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. But I made myself go, and I get there and I got out of my car and I saw 45 to 50 women playing a sport that I loved. And they had their helmets on, their cleats on, they were fully dressed in their shoulder pads and all their gear, and they were hitting each other. And I was like, woo! I felt a sense of pride and empowerment and inspiration and courage and hope all at the same time. And it was hope for me, hope that I hadn't really seen much in my life. That day created a new me. That day created a strong, powerful woman that has pride, that walks in responsibility and ambition and leadership and empowerment and sisterhood. I've never looked back on anything else after that, because quite frankly, I'm here as a living example of hope and pride. So I make it a point to visit little girls as often as I can, and in marginalized and low income and underserved communities, to speak to them personally. In fact, so much so that I gave up coaching in the NFL. I loved it. Somebody said to me before, "You're crazy to give that up." I'm getting goosebumps right now. And they're like, "You're crazy to give that up. This is a dream come true for you." And I looked at him, because it was a him that said that to me. And I said, "Sir, I wasn't allowed to dream this dream. So how dare me think I could coach in the NFL if I wasn't even allowed to play football?" So right now, I'm taking my dreams to empower others through my journey. And trust me, it was a hard, tough journey. But I fought every day, because now I believed in myself. And I remember going into the head coach's office at that time, because I sat right outside of his office, and I would try to break his chops every chance I got about schemes and players and alignments and assignments. And I tried to beat him in the office. And so one day, I had gotten another letter in the mail from a father talking about his daughter. And he talked about his daughter seeing me on the sidelines and how she was going to be a better person and a stronger person because of what I had accomplished. And I knew right then and there that I needed to do more with this, because that little girl that I reached, there were so many other little girls and grown women that I could reach as well. So I marched into the head coach's office and I told them what I was going to do, my plans of starting my own company called Believe in You Incorporated. How I got that name was, I remember when Coach Bowles asked me to be one of his coaches, because I made myself relevant. I took opportunity when I saw it. Sometimes I created my own opportunity. And I walk in passion. And I remember him telling me on the sidelines on a football practice before I was working there, and he said to me, "What position do you play?" And I said, "The same one you played at Temple University." I'm a researcher. Knowledge is power. So wherever you go, before you get there, you make sure to study who you're talking to, who's going to be there, where you're at, the history of the building, etc., and so forth. And I did just that. So I got that phone call from him when he said to me, "You should be one of my coaches." I said, "I agree." And after I left him, I went to my car, and the first person I called was my father. And I said, "Dad, can you believe this?" And I went on to tell him what happened. And my father said to me, "Collette," and he never calls me Collette. He said, "Collette, I can believe it, but I'd be more proud if you believed it. Because you're calling me like it's a question mark, like it's not happening, or it shouldn't be." I drove home on that long drive from Floral Park, New Jersey to Queens, New York, thinking about just that. So when I walked into that head coach's office that day and I said, "This is what I'm going to do. Here's what's going on," and I'm going to start my own company called Believe in You Incorporated. He looked at me, and he sat back in his chair, and he said, Coach, I respected you before, but I respect you so much more right now. And interestingly enough, I didn't care if he said that or not. Because I walk in my purpose. There's a power in our struggles. There's a power in our pain. And I've learned to embrace that. And I use that to keep my days going forward. Do we all remember a woman named Fannie Lou Hamer from Mississippi? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? A lot of us think about that sometimes. But let me tell you, what are we doing about it? Because I ask myself daily, what can I do to be a servant of God and a better citizen? There's a lot I can do. There's a lot we can do. There's a lot that our borough president does for us. We work together. We ruffle feathers and we stir the pot up. No more am I sitting in the back seat or told, oh, you're cute. I'm cute and strong. I'm a woman. Hear me roar. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And I'm happy to be here with all of you women and you men. So I'm going to make my time here brief and just close out with, I live by something every day, which is help make tomorrow better today. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
So we're knocking it out of the park tonight, aren't we? Both uplifting and inspiring. Thank you so much, Ms. Smith. Phenomenal women. That's me. But we have so many of them, and we couldn't honor everyone tonight. But I want just our staff, our female staff, to know that they are all phenomenal women as well. We do that work day in and day out, so it's not just me. So I want to thank the staff, not just the females, because we've got the men behind us as well, and the volunteers for helping us out today. I want to recognize some people, some other phenomenal women as well. We have quite a few judges I think I saw walk in. Will they stand and be recognized? Please connect with them after. I just want to bring to your attention, in the back of the room on the wall, we have a portrait of Beatrice Judge. She's the first female Supreme Court Justice for Brooklyn. And that portrait was painted by the brother of one of our distinguished judges here, Judge Margarita Lopez Torres. Please tell your brother how thankful we are for that portrait. Phenomenal women in the room. But we've got a phenomenal man that we're going to call up, the first African-American borough president. Please welcome Borough President Eric L. Adams.
Thank you so much, and I'm going to take executive privileges and step back for a moment and just ask a prayer today. You know, we didn't open any prayer at all, so can you just give us a prayer to open us up? Do it in Spanish. God speaks in all languages.
God bless everyone tonight. I feel so happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity, and God bless everyone. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Padre, en el nombre de Jesús, te damos gracias, Rey del Universo, por esta oportunidad que nos das de estar en este lugar. Dios de toda gloria, honra y honor, bendecimos a cada una de las personas que se encuentran en este lugar. Te damos gracias por cada etnia que hay aquí, Padre Santo, por las damas, por los caballeros. Bendecimos su entrada, bendecimos su salida, los bendecimos en el nombre poderoso de tu Hijo amado Jesucristo, pidiéndote, Dios, que todo lo que se haga en este lugar sea para la gloria y la honra de tu nombre, en el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Amen. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Collette was on point, and we were excited about the thought of even having you here. I know your time is busy. Having you here as a speaker, we were clearly excited about that. And as a longtime suffering Jet fan, I'm sure when you become the head coach, we'll start winning, you know. And to all of our honorees, we're really proud of you and what you represent. Many of you I've interacted with throughout the years, and I'm looking forward to, as we give you the proclamations, to show how much we support and appreciate you. And many of our sponsors, I see Ron is here from Metro Plus, and all of our team that basically have come together to really support and be a part of this important initiative. And Sandra Chapman, our Chief Programming Officer, many of these events, some of you who have had the opportunity to come out, you realize how we enjoy using this space. Collette stated, as I sat down next to her, how beautiful this building is. At one time, this was the city hall for the city of Brooklyn. And if Brooklyn was a separate city, we will be the third largest city in America. This is an amazing place with 2.6 million documented people, and we will continue to grow and have a place of diversity as we celebrate women. I am a member of the Men Who Gets It Club. I clearly understand when you look at not only talking about it, but being about it. I pay women on average higher than any other governmental service in the city of New York or agency, 17% higher. My staff is comprised of women. When you go downstairs, we have a lactation room to allow women to breastfeed their children. We have done so much around everything from women empowerment to domestic violence to so many other areas. As I saw Tommy Torres, our district leader, just walked in. We do so much to show the importance and empowerment of women. And let me tell you why. In order to know where a person is, you have to know where they come from. I grew up in a household with an amazing woman. I am a self-admitted mama's boy. Mother has 6 children. She loves them all, but she adores me. I'm her favorite child. And we grew up in South Jamaica, Queens. After leaving Brooklyn and moving to South Jamaica, Queens, after my early childhood in Brownsville, we found a small church. I like to call it a cheers church. Everyone knew your name, and everyone was glad you came. We used to go to church during the day, then you break, and you go back at night. It was not like these mega churches. It was a small church. And each day in the break, we would go home and you'll eat and then come back to do the evening services. The middle part was a rarity for our family. We did not have the means to have those solid breakfast and lunch and dinner. But Mother made way. And then one night after the evening service, a car caravan of women pulled up. They started unloading boxes of groceries. And they walked inside the house because they realized that Dorothy Adams was just trying to make it. And every week, there was just another miracle that took us to the next week. And I remember those boxes of groceries sitting on the counter. And I said that night about 3 in the morning, I was so excited that we were going to have cornflake with real milk and not that carnation milk or that canned milk. And when I looked at the boxes were open. Half a box of spaghetti, half a jar of mayonnaise, half a box of cornflakes. Those women did not have the means to go shopping for us, so they gave us half of what they had out of their own cupboards. They provided for us, and they made a way. And when you think about the spirit and energy of those days, how people did not look down on people because of their plight, they reached down and picked them up because of their plight to their level. Those were days when you did not sing in church on Monday of how great thou art, and then on Tuesday you talk about throwing homeless out of your community because of their lack of prosperity. There, by the grace of God, goes I. And I learned from that moment. It resonated with me. So yes, we're celebrating the first women who have achieved a level, but we would be remiss if we didn't understand that there were women who made it possible for men to be the first. I'm the first African-American borough president because women thought enough to nourish me and protect me. So don't allow history to relegate you just to the position that you just did mainly for yourselves. What you did at becoming the first will have cascading effects on women, not only here in Brooklyn, but the way goes Brooklyn goes New York, the way goes New York goes America, the way goes America goes the globe. Your first action is a global action, and it's a tidal wave that will reach every part of the globe. Women all across the globe are saying, I can coach now. I can be a judge now. I can be wherever and whoever I want to be because of what you're doing here. Don't underplay it. Don't merely look at where you are in your space. Your space is bigger than my space. It is our space. And that's why we're taking this moment to acknowledge what is great about the women achievement of these women who are here in Borough Hall. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you have done, what you are doing, and what you will do. And let me conclude with this. I am on a 100-point system. It is free to sleep or die, but it's a cost to wake up. And I'm on a 100-point system. I do not lay down at night unless I gathered 100 points. If I hold the door for someone, that's 5 points. If I stand up on the train, that's another 5 points. If I go feed someone who's homeless, that's a 10-pointer. If I go to a senior center and engage with a senior and just show her the love and appreciation, that's a 10-point. I add a point after point after point until I get to 100 points. When you start to build into your life to appreciate and give back and not believe that life is about what you receive, you built a system of just giving back. We must earn the right to wake up every morning. And when you don't earn that right, you find yourself always in a state of misery, always wondering why goodness doesn't come to you, because you are not giving goodness to others. So when you walk in your purpose, when you walk in your light, you have the ability to become the first. God will bless you when you bless others. When your hands are tight and closed, not only can't you give to anyone, but you're not in a position to receive what is coming to you. That is why they're the first, because they gave and they continue to give. And let's be inspired by them and give as they have given to us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm going to rename tonight's program Inspirational. We're getting the word today. Thank you, Borough President Adams. I want to ask you to put your hand together for a phenomenal young lady. Queenie Jean is from IS 68, which is Isaac Bildesy, and she is going to recite a poem for us.
Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lips. I'm a woman. Phenomenally woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, they'll stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of bees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I'm a woman. Phenomenal woman, that's me.
That's our princess, Queenie Jean. We're going to move on to the second part of our program, or the award presentations by Borough President Adams. I'd like to congratulate tonight's honorees for breaking the glass ceiling in their fields and paving the pathways for the next generation, Queenie and others. I would like to now invite Judge Connie Mallafre-Melendez. She is the, please. Judge Mallafre-Melendez came to the United States as a young child with her family, searching for freedoms and liberty taken away in her country of birth. She obtained a Juris Doctor degree from Brooklyn Law School. Her desire to pursue a career in law arose while she was a social worker, assisting victims of domestic violence and children who were sexually and physically abused. Prior to social work, she graduated from Rutgers University, magna cum laude, with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. She worked her way through both college and law school to support herself and cover tuition costs. Please congratulate her with your Judge Mallafre. Ezras Nashim, Women for Women. It's the first emergency medical service agency dedicated to women in the Orthodox Jewish community. Please come up and receive your award. The goal of this organization is to expand our growing network of trained professional female EMTs that are available 24/7. It is our hope that Ezras Nashim will become an indispensable part of the Brooklyn community and then spread to Jewish communities around the globe. Congratulations and thank you. Our next honoree is Nzingha Prescod, the first African-American woman to win an individual medal at the Senior World Championship. Please join the Borough President. Nzingha started fencing at 9 years old at the well-regarded Peter Westbrook Foundation. She's a graduate of New York City's highest acclaimed Stuyvesant High School. She then continued her education at Columbia University. We've got a couple of Columbia alumni. Awesome. Where she graduated with a degree in political science with a concentration in race and ethnicity. Congratulations, Nzingha, and thank you. Nancy Tong, the first Asian American elected officials in Brooklyn, serving as the female Democratic district leader of the 47th Assembly District. Nancy emigrated from Hong Kong and was raised in Chinatown before settling into Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Her passion and dedication for volunteering led her to a path and into public service, working on issues such as rent and harassment issues to businesses and individuals in public spaces. Congratulations and thank you. Our next honoree is Alicja Winnicki, the first Polish-American superintendent in Brooklyn Community School District. She promotes diversity of cultures and languages of the students and families in the district-wide literacy initiative, the advancement of the culturally responsive education, and by embracing multilingual learners through dual language, early immersion, enrichment, and transitional bilingual programs, including Spanish, French, Japanese, Polish, German, Chinese, Italian, and Yiddish. Congratulations to you. She's got me beat by 8 languages. Ooh, I've only got the 1. I'd like to now present a special citation to our guest speaker from Ms. Collette Smith. Will you please accept our citation? Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Amina Ali and Iman Hamania Shabazz from UN Women Gambia and the Embassy of the Republic of Gambia. Please stand and be recognized. Now, we couldn't do this program and quite a few of our other programs without this sponsor. So tonight was not have been possible without NYC and Company Foundation and Metro Plus. I would like to invite a friend of Borough Hall, Mr. Ronald Law, Director of Intergovernmental Affairs at Metro Plus, to give brief remarks. And I would like the Chief Customer Officer, Gail L. Smith, to stand and be recognized. Ron, the mic is yours.
Good evening to everybody. I have two tasks. The first task is try to be as brief as possible because while this has been a very enlightening and inspirational evening, there is still more that goes on after this, and I realize I stand between you and what goes on downstairs. So I will be as brief as possible. Permit me a 10-second commercial. I do work for Metro Plus, and my boss is sitting here. Metro Plus has been partnering with the borough president since he has been the borough president. It's been a pleasure for us to join with him in any activity which he does. We're very, very glad to be able to participate in this activity. And if you want to know more about Metro Plus, there's a table downstairs which has some information about us, and I won't take up your time on that. Because actually we're here this evening to talk about Women's History Month. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in this room who understand how Women's History Month began, and I must admit, I didn't know until I looked it up. And it began in 1980 when Jimmy Carter decided that on March 8th to hold 1 week of celebration for Women's History Week. Carter was the first president to commemorate women in that way. 6 years later, the National Women's History Project successfully petitioned Congress to expand the event to the entire month of March. We live in very interesting times. More and more we hear that women are beginning to tell their stories. Stories of triumph, stories of heartache, stories of assault, stories of laughter, and stories of love. It is almost as if a new renaissance has begun. And interestingly enough, renaissance is a French word meaning rebirth. The Renaissance was an era of great intellectual, cultural, and political change. Today, women have spawned movements like hashtag Black Girl Magic, hashtag Black Girl Rock, hashtag Me Too, hashtag Say Her Name, hashtag Murder Kelly, and hashtag Women Equality Pay. And the borough president has even contributed with his own hashtag, Rally for Ruth. We always hear about Renaissance men, but today is the time to talk about Renaissance women. Brooklyn has contributed its fair share of Renaissance women. Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and recently, New York State Attorney General Letitia James. The women honorees this evening have earned the distinction to be identified as Renaissance women, and I commend all of them for their achievements and accomplishments. They are recognized for being trailblazers. In this day and age, however, there are always unsung persons to whom the spotlight has yet to reveal. Not to take away anything from tonight's honorees, I would like this time to take and draw attention to the unsung women who should be recognized, women who are equally deserving of having the spotlight shown on them. The unsung women I'm referring to are you, the women in this audience, the women outside of this chamber, the women outside of this building. I also include women who will always be a role model for other women, as Ms. Smith is. We should recognize and always take the time to recognize women unconditionally. Women's History Month is a lot like celebrating a birthday, a special day. But women should be celebrated every day of the year. Permit me to take this prerogative of saluting women on behalf of all men. On behalf of your great-grandfathers, because I'm sure some of you have had that privilege, on behalf of your grandfathers, on behalf of your husbands, your uncles, your nephews, your sons, your male friends. The salute is to acknowledgement of all women for your strength, your compassion, your wisdom, your lovingness, your graceful style, your outspokenness, your spirituality, and most of all, for just being yourself. I want to end with this wish for you, that songbirds welcome you each and every morning, that flowers brighten up your every day, that laughter fills every hour of your day, that the nicest and best things will always keep coming to you, and may you be a blessing and have a blessing every day, and may all the love that you give to others come back to you.
Thank you, Ron. Now I will ask all of our honorees and our guest speaker to take a photograph with our Borough President as we conclude the program. Don't leave yet, we're not done, I'm not done. We're taking a picture, so please stay with me a little while longer. So if we can move back and let the official photographer of Borough Hall take some good pictures, and then we'll have friends and family. We'll give you time to take the pictures. Give us just a moment. Thank you. Thank you and congratulations to our honorees. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight for Borough President Eric Adams' 6th Annual Women's History Month celebration. I ask that we allow the honorees and their guests to exit the courtroom first so we can move to the community downstairs.